Okay, now let's make sure everything is connected and streaming. It might be a bit of a blank screen there, but that's just because I'm not actually so dialed into the screen. Now, before we actually get started, I have to make sure the actual stream is flowing through okay. So I'm going to go to my phone and my studio app and see if my live stream is coming through okay. If I can see that, I don't know if I can. Well, okay, so can't see it here. Do I need to open the actual YouTube app? No, that's not how I do it. I guess I'll have to just have y'all let me know, or I'll have to go back and watch it. Anyways, welcome back, people. It's Jason34 here, back with another stream, or well, my first stream. Welcome to a game called X4 Foundations. Now, this is an open-world space game in which you, I guess, are just a general explorer. Maybe I'm not really sure. Let me look up the game here real quick, so I can make sure I'm getting the background down okay. I don't know that much about the game because I always play games blindly when I first start them. Okay. Thrilling space battles meets deep strategy. X4 invites you to explore, fight, trade, and build an empire in a dynamic, fully simulated space sandbox where every decision shapes your journey. Now featuring the 2025 flight model overhaul. Okay. X4 is a living, breathing space sandbox running entirely on your PC. Thousands of ships and stations trade, mine, and produce, all realistically simulated in the universe. You can grow from being the lone pilot of a fighter ship to managing a vast empire, commanding your fleets and designing colossal space stations. Transition seamlessly from first-person action to boarding ships and visiting their bridges to an expansive strategy and management simulation. Choose your own path at your own pace. The decisions are yours. Trade, fight, build, and think. To start in X4, you can start your journey from a number of different game starts as a number of different characters, each with their own roles, set of relationships, and different ships, technologies to start with. No matter how you start, you are always free to develop in any other direction. Focus on exploration, make money with illegal trading and theft, or command large battle fleets and become the greatest entrepreneur ever. Or become the greatest entrepreneur ever. It's all up to you to decide. X4 allows you to fly all ships personally, from small scouts over a wide range of ship classes up to the biggest carriers. Everything can be piloted from the cockpit or an external view. A big focus in the development of X4 has been to achieve a seamless and immersive experience when moving between ships. You can leave a ship, climb down a ladder, walk over the dock of a large space station into another ship, and you may have parked there and replace the pods that are working for you just by clicking on his chair. Build a space station and upgrade your ships. Building space stations and factories has always been the foundation of the X games. After gaining enough money through fighting or trading, most players want to establish their own economy and start influencing the universe on a larger scale. In X4, it is now possible to be completely free and creative. Stations can be constructed from a variety of modules, be it production modules, living stations, docks, or many other types of parts. The powerful new map system allows you to drag and connect modules using a connection system to design your very own unique creation. Ships also offer a variety of upgrades. Engines, weapons, and other equipment can be added in a graphical editor and actually seen on the ship. X4 is the first X game to allow our races and factions to freely build and expand their empires. The same flexibility the player enjoys in creatively designing space stations for modular buildings blocks is also available to them. Racers expand their empires based on supply and demand, which leads to an extremely dynamic universe where every action the player makes can influence the course of the entire universe. Once you have more ships and many NPCs working for you as pilots, crew, or station managers, the map will be your preferred method of managing it all. Ships can be ordered with a simple clicks through a drag and drop operation to set their future paths, commands, graphically plan your trade routes, coordinate attacks with your entire fleet, manage the hierarchy, or send ships on remote exploration missions. One of the key selling points of X games has always been the realistic simulated economy. Wares produced by hundreds of stations and transported by thousands of ships are actually traded by NPCs, and prices developed based on this simulated economy. This is the foundation of our living and breathing universe. Now with X4, we have taken another massive step. For the first time in any X game, all parts of the NPC economy are manufactured from resources, ships, weapons, upgrade ammo, even stations, you name it, everything comes out of the simulated economy. The seamless change from ship to ship and from NPCs controlling your empire for you continues on a higher level. Once you own a large fleet, you will be very interested in researching a technology from your HQ, teleportation. Once you've unlocked teleportation, you can jump from ship to ship a lot quicker and experience all the critical situations your NPCs encounter firsthand. Every order you have given to a ship before it turns into a mission objective when you pilot the ship yourself, the moment you leave again, your pilot takes the helm and continues there with their previous orders. So yeah, that's basically the entire Steam description of this game. It literally is a fully living, breathing universe. Every decision you make, no matter how small, can affect the overall universe. It has suggested to me, since I'm just now starting into the game, to do the tutorial, which I will do because I need to actually know how to play the game.
Tired of waiting for shuttles? Want to fly wherever you want, whenever you want? Then what you need is a pilot's license. And what's the best place to get one? That's right, Jace Winger's Flight School. I do theory, I do practice, and I'm licensed for weapons training. With my tried and tested training course, you'll be an ace pilot in no time, guaranteed. Success not guaranteed. No liability in case of explosion, blunt trauma, exsanguination, asphyxiation, or rapid decompression.
So we're basically going to do this whole first stream is going to be me doing basically every single one of these tutorials, so I can go back on this. I'm going to put little tabs, little chapters into the overall the stream whenever I actually take it off the in the stream, so I can go back and check each one as I finish. Yes. I can't pause what I'm doing. Why is she bugging you? Sorry. Mom just tried to ask me to do something, but since I'm streaming, I don't want to walk away. If I was recording, it would be different. But the recording is, I've got so many recordings built up that I actually need to upload a bunch of Foundry playthrough pieces. Episodes 4 through 12 need to be uploaded, and then I've got a new simulator I just found recently that I've made 3 episodes on. But anyways, let's get into these tutorials. We're going to do all these tutorials, well, all of them here in this stream, and we're going to make chapters based on each one. So if you need a specific tutorial or how to do something very specific, you can just go and click on that chapter, and I'll run through the entire tutorial along with the guide here, or whoever's telling me to do what, and I'll try to make it as... I'll try to do all of the little objectives inside the training tutorial. Be nice to people on your way up because you meet them on your way down. This is probably true. Collect the crates, which are dropped by some destroyed ships to get missiles and other valuables. That's good news. That's good information to have. Now, I don't know how big or how long loading times will take because obviously it's running off my computer, and my computer it's okay, but like I don't know how my computer build is actually going to really affect load times, or if it's going to take a long time or not very long at all. I don't know. It probably won't take very long at all, but still, you never be too careful. This is the help box. It stays on screen until you close it. Others may disappear after a certain time or after performing a required action. Press escape to close this one. Do you want to load a pre-made input profile? Yes. Keyboard. Yes. The message ticker is in the bottom left corner of the screen. If you have an active mission like now, your current objective will be shown there in an orange text.
Before we begin, I need to perform a few routine physical tests. Regulations, you know. Please move your head as far up or down as you can. Okay, now please walk a few steps. Faster, please. Okay, now do a few jumping jacks, please.
Jumpy. Jumpy, jumpy.
Finally, a few squats, please. Great. You seem to be in good physical shape, so we can move on to your flying lessons. Let me know how you want to... Yes? We'll start by using the transporter room outside to go to the docking bay.
Okay, so we need to follow this yellow line in order to get to the transporter room. I guess it's like some...
From here, you need to embark and take the controls.
I guess it just teleported me.
Vanguard.
You are cleared for undocking. Proceed.
Alright, we've finished the main tutorial, the first of the tutorials. Now it's on to our space training. I need to go get me some more tea soon. This tea's on my cup's almost out. Now, we're moving on to our space flight training. I'm gonna need this so I can actually go back if I forget how to do something, so I can actually go back and watch this live stream at a later date and like watch chapters as necessary if I forget how to do something specific. This will be useful for me. All I have to do is make sure I put the chapters in there as necessary so y'all can skip ahead if necessary if y'all don't want to watch the whole thing through, because I have no idea how long this tutorial, all of these tutorials are going to take. I have no idea.
Use the steering controls to turn your ship. Now, use the strafing controls to move sideways or vertically. Okay, before we continue, make sure there's no obstacle right in front of you. I can't check from here, so I have to trust you on this one. When you clear, gently accelerate forwards.
So you can use your mouse
There's
wheel to
usually
go
a speed limit inside docking areas, but you don't have to worry about exceeding it. The ship's computer will limit the speed for you. You can also fly backwards. Try this now. Now, I need you to make sure there really is nothing in front of you. When you're ready, strap in and hit your ship's boost. You have a limited pool of boost energy. Use it wisely. Your remaining boost energy is shown on the speed bar, right below your crosshair. You may also notice that I've prepared a little course for you. Please fly close to each of the navigation beacons in turn. Your next target will always be marked in orange.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, we need to fly to the yellow beacon, or the orange little beacon here, without hitting anything, obviously, because I don't know how big this space station is. I don't know how big this ship is, so I don't want to accidentally bump into something. Bumping into something would be very bad, probably. Oh god. The steering sensitivity is just a little too much for me. Just a little.
Don't worry, you're not being timed.
Well, thank you for not timing me. That would be weird. And bad. Yeah, fly around this way. And turn right. There it is, right there. Turn really far to your right so we can then hit up this beacon here. Alright, now we're gonna go under this overhang here, this building piece here, or whatever it is, and we're gonna hit up this Argon L container storage. Initiate the docking. Alright, that's the flight training complete. We're moving on to the docking tutorial. I don't think it'll take too terribly long to do all the tutorials, but I'm still gonna have to go through all the basic and intermediate classes at the very least. The advanced courses I'm probably gonna do, but I might not go for the combat scenario. I'll have to decide by the time I get to it if I'm actually going to do it or not. It really just depends. I might have to do that just so I have some combat experience, even though it's going to be practice, like probably against an AI ship that's like a training ship that you can't actually destroy. It's probably just going to like let you, or maybe it'll be pirates and you actually can destroy them, but you just don't really get any rewards for doing so. I don't really know. Alright.
Fly to the marked station.
Use a mouse wheel to accept. Fly to the marked station. Okay. We're gonna... Now, I know that your ship
Now that you're in
probably...
range, interact with the station to request docking permission.
Right on the mouse button to interact with this station.
Follow the trail of lights to your assigned dock.
Ah. So it's like you actually have to go to a specific dock. You can't, it's not like an actual open bay. It's like you have to actually go to a very specific dock and you have to probably be very careful. So we're gonna slow down here just so I can actually get, I don't want to overshoot my, overhang. Because it looks like a very small landing pad.
Turn your ship in the indicated direction.
Turn on the indicated mouse steering, turn in the indicated direction.
You should now be able to see an abstract representation of the docking bay and your position relative to it. Each element must be aligned before you can dock. When aligned, the elements change colour from red to green. Now that your ship is fully aligned, let go of the steering controls. There's a triangular element pointing upwards that represents your ship's position over the dock. If it's darkened, then your ship is outside the displayable area. Your ship is currently too far back. Slowly accelerate forward and stop when the horizontal line turns green. If you overshoot, just stop and correct.
Autopilot engaged.
Autopilot? Where am I going?
Autopilot disengaged.
Where is autopilot trying to take me, bruh? Oh god, what the hell's going on?
Docking granted. Autopilot engaged.
I need to know how the autopilot works as well, so that's going to be something important for me to figure out.
Turn your ship in the indicated direction. I usually align my orientation first. Begin by moving the center of your crosshair to the matching element in the docking UI.
Well, I had to leave the space thing so I could actually go back in because I can't actually see my ship, so I can't tell. I don't know how to change my camera control so I can see outside of my ship because I don't really know if I can do this whole perfectly managed parking here. It might be a little difficult for me to do.
If you can afford them, there are software upgrades that make this process a bit easier.
Okay. I made it! I survived the docking procedure! I survived! I did it! I want to know if I could get like an autopilot version software upgrade for this, because autopilot is going to save me so much trouble when it comes to docking at space stations. Bruh! You keep forgetting my T is on my T's out. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is broken in birds that cannot fly. Life is a broken bird that cannot fly. Ugh. Langston Hughes? Hire manager to manage productions and to give tasks and 2 ships assigned to the station. Sounds like a great plan, depending on what you're doing, I guess. Whatever that space station's designed for. I guess you could technically just have a mining station, but then again, I want to be able to mine myself. Like, actually mine and build stuff, like trade and stuff myself. I know that you could actually upgrade and build up your massive trading empire or whatever. And you have, like, patrol ships, like combat vessels, to actually patrol the area around your space station and the area where your mining ships are at, wherever they go to mine or whatever.
This next thing is something you are going to be using a lot. I've marked a remote location for you to fly to. Don't worry, I don't expect you to crawl there at your base speed. First, please align your ship so it points roughly towards the target. Now, activate travel mode. Depending on your engine type, it may take a little time to get started. major speed bar just below the crosshairs. You will keep accelerating for a while until you reach your ship's top travel speed. You've probably noticed other modes in the list when you activated this one. Each mode has its special use, and only one mode can be active at a time. Whenever you're ready, quickly drop out of travel mode. Great! The next part will take place some distance from here, so let's take a break and let the autopilot do the hard work for now. The autopilot automatically navigates to the current objective. It engages travel mode when appropriate and makes use of gates, accelerators, and highways. It even avoids obstacles in the way. Well, mostly, which is why you still need to be at the controls. You may notice that it sometimes turns travel mode off when everything seems wide open to you. The safeties are on a bit of a hair trigger, probably to keep insurance rates from skyrocketing.
Alright, now, on to the next tutorial! I like that autopilot. The autopilot's definitely gonna be useful for me because I'm gonna have like this long ass freaking trip I'm gonna make like across the galaxy, and I'm like, engage autopilot, because I'm not gonna want to actually fly there manually. I'm just gonna engage autopilot, like going through gates and everything else. I'm like, I want to go explore this sector way over here. Engage autopilot. It's like going to gates and travel speed and everything else. I'm like, hell yeah, bro. Hospitality at its finest, bro. Technology.
Today, we'll learn how to use the various means of travelling between systems and sectors. Before we start, please note the yellow icon below your crosshair. The manuals call it the check engine light, but I've never seen an engine that looks like that. It means that you can't make use of your travel mode right now. That's because this lesson takes place in a region that prevents it from working. Being hit by a weapon disables your travel drive for a short time as well. So don't rely on it to get out of trouble.
No, just fight the trouble, or don't get into it in the first place.
This system specifically to make you an easy target for pirates. On to the actual lesson at hand. In front of you is a jump gate. Sometimes you'll find one that's inactive. This one's working though, which you can tell from the swirly bits in the middle. To use it, simply fly through. That's all there is to it. Now, I've been told that the technology is totally different, but in practice, these accelerators function pretty much exactly like jump gates. Fly through this one.
That one is orange. Is that safe? I'm guessing it just makes your ship a hell of a lot faster. It seems like that might be what it does. That, or it might just lock you into something and like slingshot you across the galaxy to wherever it's supposed to take you to.
While jump gates connect different star systems, accelerators take you to different places within the same one. Up next, a superhighway. They also take you to sectors within a star system. The main difference is that they are directional, so you need to use the entry gate, not the exit. Fly into the entry gate.
So we're gonna have to go into this big blue gate in order to get to wherever. I don't know if you can actually go to the planets. I'm not sure you can do that. I'm pretty sure this is strictly a space-based adventure, for the most part. I don't know if you can actually do that.
As you see, it's a tiny bit slower than the other methods. I like it though, it lets me enjoy the view. Highways can also be local. The entry of one is right in front of you. Fly into it.
Alright, cool. We're gonna go fly to Unholy Retribution. I'm not really sure where that is, but I'd assume it's a long ways. The highway.
It has a much slower speed than the superhighway we just came out of, but it's still a whole lot faster than most ships can travel on their own. It's not wide enough for capital ships, though. Medium-sized ships are the largest that can use them. Local highways can be entered and exited at any point along the way. Fly into the one right in front of you.
Okay, hold on. Before we can... Why would you need to use a gate like this with anything other than a medium ship? If you have a large ship or capital ship, you shouldn't need travel gates or highways, because obviously your ship should be able to at least go fast enough to get across the system. Or you should have other ships that you can fly around while that ship is going wherever you want it to go and then meet it there, maybe. Because if you tell it to go somewhere, you can simply set that location with a smaller ship to that same area and then activate autopilot, which then autopilot would then take jump gates and stuff while your big ship is just going straight there, basically. That's what I'm figuring.
This highway is special in that it leads you right into a jump gate. You don't have to do anything. The transition will just work on its own.
Turbo speed, we're going down highways.
Please pay attention to the objective in the corner of your HUD. It's counting down to when you should exit the highway. Wait until it's done, then exit the highway. Now. Well done.
Combat. Okay, so the combat test is next. Those highways are definitely going to be useful. Definitely. For getting around, yes. When a target is in weapon range, the circle icon will mark where you should aim. How most space games and anything with fighter planes work, there's always a little circle ahead of the target that you should at least try to aim at in order to actually hit your target. It's usually really hard to hit that, though, because it's, especially if the ship's really fast and IHL, the thing is bouncing all over the place because it's always directly in front of the ship. So the ship could be turning all which way, and the circle is jumping all over the place, so it'd be really hard to hit unless you're able to jump all over the place, too, so you could keep following that circle. And then you have to have, you know, enough ammo, I guess, in order to hit it. Or you can have, like, lock-on missiles, maybe, I'm not sure.
And learn how to defend yourself. There are a handful of targets in front of you. Their HUD color indicates that they are enemies. Some are darker than the others. Those are behind something and can't be hit with your weapons right now. I've now activated your primary weapon. The small dots that have just appeared indicate where the weapons are currently aiming. They will automatically track your current target as long as it's close enough. Note that the HUD markers of some targets are smaller. These targets are currently outside your weapon range. Select the closest enemy target. A new HUD element has appeared right in the center of the target. This is the aim ahead indicator. It shows you where you need to aim, which is especially useful if the target is moving. Slowly cycle through all the targets.
Cargo.
When a target outside your weapon range has been selected, you can see the weapon indicators becoming darkened. The aim ahead indicator also changes its appearance. Select the closest enemy target again and shoot at it until it's destroyed. Keep destroying the targets. You'll need to move closer in order to hit some of them. If you look to the right of your crosshair, you will see bars next to your weapons that gradually fill up when you are firing. This is heat. It automatically dissipates when you stop firing. This happens more slowly if there are multiple weapons cooling down at the same time. Your weapons just overheated. You will not be able to fire until they've cooled to a safe temperature. This target is much sturdier than the others. Look at the blue bar above the target. This is its shield strength. After a few seconds without damage, it will begin to recharge. All shields work like this, including your own. I've now activated your secondary weapon, a missile launcher. It's loaded with a type of guided missile that requires a target lock. Please select the target in front of you. You can now see a lock being acquired. You may fire when ready.
Missile acquired. Detonated.
The target has dropped something. Fly right at it to pick it up.
An ammo container. Alrighty. Hold the, fly over an item.
It's another type of missile. It has been automatically added to your ammunition storage. Missile launchers have limited ammunition. You can see the number of remaining missiles to the left of your crosshair. Look at the curved blue bar below your crosshairs. I'm going to demonstrate damage to your shields. Wait for it. There we go. It's recharging.
Ding ding. Friggin' playing the Master Chief, the Master Chief from Halo, his little shield thing. Start the timelines. Map. We're going to keep playing these tutorials because we still have a hell of a lot of tutorials to do. We've just now finished the combat one, but we need to be able to do all of this so we can actually, I need to know how to do all of this stuff, what buttons to push, and all this other stuff, because I have a feeling this game is almost as complicated as Star Citizen. Because I think this is like a much smaller version of Star Citizen. I'm not exactly sure, but I think this is like kind of sort of like a smaller version of Star Citizen, and not nearly as complicated, but still kind of a little bit more advanced than what's that game called again? One of my favorite games. I have over 400 hours in that game. Possibly 500, I don't know. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I haven't played it in a while, but I was a freaking beast in that game. It was somewhat multiplayer, but not really. Open the map, okay.
It might be your most powerful tool, but it can be overwhelming at first. We'll cover the basics today. Let's begin with the icons. Open the highlighted menu.
What highlighted menu?
The legend shows you the meaning of the different things you see on the map. For example, this light green icon in the middle is your small fighter ship. The green colour indicates that it's owned by you. The slightly lighter hue means that you're personally there right now. And the big icon next to you is a station. A wharf, to be specific. Don't feel like you need to memorise this. You will always have access to it. Close this menu for now. Zoom out as far as you can. The hexagon you see is a sector. As you explore, you will find many more. You can also pan and rotate the view. Do so now. Good. If you ever get lost, you can always return your camera to the current location. Try it. Select an object. This selection is different from the target you select outside of the map. I have marked the wharf as your HUD target so you can see the difference. Clear your selected object for now. As you can see, this does not affect your HUD target. Now interact with your ship. Select Information. Here you can see some general information as well as the ship's pilot, you in this case, and cargo storage. Take your time looking around, then open the highlighted menu at the top. Here you can see more details about the pilot as well as the rest of the crew. Expand the information for one of your service crew. Now you can see a detailed overview of this person's skills. Sometimes individuals can have an aptitude outside of their current role and might be worth reassigning to a different role. You can assign roles and perform other advanced actions using the various tabs of this menu. We'll cover those actions in later lessons. Close this menu to move on. Open the object list. Open the highlighted menu.
Okay.
It lists all currently visible objects with some sorting and filtering options.
Nice.
By default, it shows you all ships and stations. Open the menu that shows deployables. It only lists a navigation beacon, not the satellite that is also nearby. That's because the satellite is currently off screen. Zoom out until the satellite's icon is visible. Now that the satellite's icon is visible, it is also listed in the menu. You can also select and interact with objects from the menu. Interact with the satellite and deactivate it. Good. Open the Property Owned menu. This menu lists everything you own, even if the icons are not currently on screen. That is why you can see another ship here, but not in the object list. Focus the camera on the other ship. The camera will now follow your ship until you manually move it again. Zooming also keeps the camera focused on the ship now, and not on the cursor position. Try it. To stop the camera from following the ship, simply pan in any direction. Do so now. And those are the basics of using the map. If you want a refresher on what certain menus do, you can activate a help overlay with a highlighted button. Do so now. Each highlighted button can now show you what it does. Use the button again to turn it off.
The flight management menu allows you to create flight pilots for new stations or select and manage pilots of existing stations. The information menu shows detailed information about the currently selected object, including its current orders. Mission manager shows all accepted missions sorted by category. The missions offers menu shows all available offers sorted by category. Property owned is the menu lists all ships and stations that you own. Currently, object list shows all objects that are currently visible on the map. Has different modes to filter the deployable objects. It also allows you to quickly search for objects. This category shows all stations and ships. Category shows stations and their subordinates. This category only shows fleets. This category only shows ships without a commander. This category only shows ships where the captain has inventory. This category only shows deployables. And over here we have this filter setting allows you to configure which information is shown on the map. The legend explains all symbols used on the map. The information menu shows detailed information about the currently selected. Okay, so there's just simply another information way over
Take your time looking around. Close the map when you're done.
We are finished with this tutorial. It was a little complicated, but we did it. That map one will definitely be important whenever I go back around, come back to this game at some point. Like, if I were to ever quit playing the game, this live stream would be important. It'd be one of my very first episodes. I mean, in the playlist, I'll probably just simply rename it as the tutorial live stream so that I won't have to make a new episode over it. Like, because my first episode or first live stream episode will be the episode where I start into the main open world, or actually no, the timelines will probably be my first area of open playing or whatever. We gotta
Tired
go
of
to
waiting the
each...
shuttles? Want to fly wherever you want, whenever you want? Then what you need is...
Alright, so we're gonna initialize the missions category next, so we can figure out what missions are and how they work. Gonna be important if I'm gonna make money, I guess. I've been wanting to get this game forever. I was waiting on it to get a good sale. And it just very recently got a very good sale, so I was able to get it.
Today we'll cover another important topic: missions. As a reminder, the current objective of the active mission is always shown in the message ticker. Right now, the objective does not have a specific target. Let's change that. I've now set one of the ships in front of you as the mission target. The yellow markings let you know which one it is. Please select the mission target.
Sorry about that. Okay, left click on the object icon to select.
Good. I've now changed the mission target to a different ship. A yellow arrow near your crosshair points in its direction. It should be to the right of it. Turn your ship until you see the mission target in front of you. Well done. Open the map. Mission targets are highlighted in the same yellow on the map. And as you can see, there can be more than one at a time. A lot more. Targets don't always need to be objects either. Some missions give you a position or area in space like this. What the radius means really depends on the mission. Maybe you need to find something somewhere in there, or are required to cover the entire area with satellites. For now, I just need you to fly anywhere in that area.
Forward, fly.
Autopilot engaged.
I guess we've activated our travel speed, which means we can get there a little faster.
All right. Open the map. Open the highlighted menu. This menu shows you any mission offers that you are aware of. Some are broadcast widely, most are more local. Select one of the mission offers.
Left click and select one of the mission offers.
You can now see its title, description, and objectives. The map also temporarily shows you guidance for the mission you've selected. I see you're already familiar. Open the highlighted menu. Here you can see all of your accepted missions. The active mission is shown in yellow. Select the inactive training mission and activate it. Good. Now, abort both trading missions. You have no guidance now. This is because one mission ending does not automatically activate another mission. Activate the remaining mission yourself, please. Good. Now, please zoom out, find the station in the other sector, and interact with it. Select Start Guidance to Object. This isn't really a mission, but guidance is now temporarily switched to lead you to this station. Rather, it would do that if you knew the way. Your computer doesn't have the necessary jump gate in its database, so it's showing you that you need to find it in order to proceed. I'm marking the gate's location on the map. Look for a question mark. Close the map and fly to it.
Autopilot engaged.
Go, autopilot, fly! Engage turbo speed. Sorry, I'm stupid like that. I'm already having a lot of fun. These tutorials are really simple and easy to understand, but there's a lot of information again that is here. There's a lot of information. 4,000 meters per second and climbing.
Now that the gate is in range, the computer has automatically added it to the database and updated guidance to lead you through it. Follow guidance until you're at the destination.
Fly to the Argonne defense platform, which is probably just like a radar station with an assault ship bay, so that it can launch fighters if it detects an enemy of this faction. Whoever owns this, I'm guessing that this station can launch fighters.
Well done. Unlike real missions, this one is automatically switched back to giving you guidance for the previously active mission. You can also get this kind of guidance by asking people for directions to certain locations or people. And that's it for this lesson.
Alright, now we're going back to the main menu, and we're going to then select the next of the intermediate tutorials. This is going to be useful for having that chapter-based system. The chapter-based will be good, so you can basically just skip past the whole me going back to the main menu and then loading into the next one. If you want to. I will be talking about some of the things in between these little black screens or whatever. I'll be talking about the previous tutorials and some of the things that I have learned so far. It wants me to play the timelines, but I would prefer this first stream to be an entirely based
Tired
on
of waiting for shuttles?
based on the tutorials alone. So I won't have to actually label this as my first stream. I can just label it as a tutorial stream in which will be at the very beginning of the playlist. So you can watch it. It will be long, but I will make sure, if I remember, to add chapters to it. There will be quite a lot of them, because there's going to be as many chapters as there are tutorials, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot of tutorials, but that'll be useful so you can skip around to whichever one you need to watch more. if you're confused or lost, or, well, it's mainly for my benefit, because if I get lost or confused, I could go back and reference the live stream at a later date if I get lost or confused about something, or I can just check the
Today we'll
information
learn
tab.
about items you carry on your person. Open the inventory menu. Here you can see every item you're personally carrying around and their value. Inventory wares are sorted into several categories. Crafting wares can be made into something, usually either something useful or valuable. We'll do that later. Paint modifications can be applied to your ships. You'll learn how to do that in another lesson. General wares are usually useful in some way. This seminar, for example, can be given to an employee to increase their management skills. Trade wares are rarely useful to you and can usually be sold off. You've probably noticed that some wares are shown in orange. These are illegal, at least somewhere. If you accidentally pick one up, you can drop them from here. Use the highlighted button to drop all illegal items now. You can do this for any other ware too. Please drop any amount of tradeware now. Good. Please dock at the nearby station for the next part.
Solar power plant. Docking granted. Autopilot engaged. Autopilot engaged.
Follow the lights, dock. Okay, so this is gonna get confusing at some time. This will get confusing. This is the light motor forwards. Luckily, it automatically allows me to dock every
Go to
short
the
time.
trader's corner. You can walk there directly or take the transporter.
Quasar Vanguard.
Okay. Oh shit. What the hell? I guess we have to walk there. Run, man, run! Now I can run even faster while running over this conveyor belt thing.
You can find these on practically every station. Talk to the trader and choose Show Me Your Wares.
Can I help? Hello. Here you go.
In addition to general, crafting and trade wares, you can also buy SpaceSuit upgrades here. I got better thrusters as soon as I could afford them, and I haven't regretted it. For now, buy the entire stock of Agnew steak and rare spices. Close this.
Good luck out there.
Now, interact with a nearby crafting bench.
Why did I just get yeeted back to my transport ship? What the hell? Oh wait, is there a button or something like a quick access point? Well, luckily I'm right here.
You have enough to create a fine meal. Do so now. It's worth significantly more than the sum of its ingredients.
Can I help? Hello. Here you go.
Well done.
Good luck out there. Good luck out there.
Some crafted items have a specific use and may not be bought by traders. These include devices used to overcome security measures, as well as bombs you can deploy from your spacesuit. All of which are highly illegal, of course, so be careful.
Alright, well that's it for that tutorial. Onwards to the next one. Loading. The crafting thing is actually important so I can remember how to craft certain things. Obviously your character probably has like a certain amount of weight he can carry, as well as your ship most likely. It probably has a certain amount of space you're allowed to carry before you go overweight or slow down or can't move or something. There's bound to be a penalty of some sort where you can't move or can't do something, like can't use travel speed or can't fly very fast or something before you actually when you go overweight. When we start in the spacesuit one next, because well, it's the next one on the list, and we're working our way down the intermediate tree of tutorials, so we're learning how to do the intermediate part of the game. Important stuff. Just knock something down. What the heck was that? Get up real quick, and I'm gonna go put this in my closet while I'm that's loading.
Please get up and leave the ship in your spacesuit.
Alright, enter. Get up.
Quasar, Vanguard.
You've probably noticed that you keep moving in the same direction. That's because spacesuits don't have flight assistance and are limited to Newtonian flight. Any directional input, whether it's strafing, accelerating, or decelerating, will push you in that direction. I'll let you try it out for a little while. While you do that, your spacesuit is equipped with a small hand laser. Please don't try to use it in fights with actual ships. You'd be pulverized immediately. You also have a repair tool. This tool works on most damaged objects, as long as they're not actually wrecked. This thing is beyond repair, though. You're not in actual danger, by the way. We're only simulating damage to your ship. Try to come to a stop using these inputs. Much better. I think you're ready for some maneuvering. Please fly inside the wreck using the indicated entry point. There's an access hatch, but it's malfunctioning. Look for a broken control panel and use your repair tool to fix it.
feeling they probably do have some kind of upgrade that you can allow that allows for somewhat. Oh yeah, this definitely is going to get weird because this method of control is probably what they deal with like in real life, but they probably have better control.
Now, fly into the corridor.
I'll just use it, set it on the first level so I can maintain a very slow...
You may have noticed the oxygen indicator, which is slowly going down. There's no need to worry about it. You'll be back on your ship with plenty of time to spare. There's another broken control panel. Repair this one as well. There's a lockbox here. What a lucky find. Please activate your weapon and carefully shoot off all the locks. Ship weapons also work, but you have to be much more careful with those. Lockboxes are fragile, and some even explode.
Yeah, this is definitely... probably not going to be doing this very much, because this is obviously...
Congratulations, you did it. You may keep the item for yourself after you're finished here. Please leave the wreck and return to your ship now.
Container.
Basically bumping my way back around because I can't control this thing or this character's spacesuit very well. It's it's basically the flight assistance needs a gyro.
The spacesuit is also equipped with a booster. You can use it now to reach your ship more quickly. Be careful though, it's easy to overshoot or crash into your target that way. Back in, you need to make a docking request. Please do so now. Now, follow the green lights to the dock and fly inside.
Quasar, Vanguard.
I'm glad I'm done with that one. I don't like that. I need to make the controls and flight mechanics for the spacesuit just a little bit more heavy, so that like I'm not jerking around as much whenever I turn. I want to make my turn speed while I'm using my spacesuit like at least half as slow, so I turn a little slower so I can manage it a little easier. Because obviously that right there is irritating to say the least. Trying to micromanage your stuff. Wonky as hell, bro. Learn about flying.
Tired
close
of waiting
to
for
large
shuttles?
moving
Want to fly
ships.
wherever you want, when?
I don't really care. When I examine myself and my methods of thought, I come to the conclusion that the gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge. Sabotaging a security control panel will increase the time available for stealing containers after hacking. Why would you want to steal that stuff? Can't you just mine stuff and make money that way? I guess if you want to be a pirate, sure, but you're liable to attract the law. Space Sheriff will find you.
There's a capital ship nearby. Please approach it.
Fly to ARG Nomad Vanguard.
Get as close as possible to its surface. Alright, now come to a stop. You are now flying relative to the ship thanks to special flight assistance software. This works for most things that are bigger than medium-sized ships. No matter what the capital ship does, you will move along with it. This is especially useful for combat as well for docking or undocking. I've set up some targets on the ship's surface. Please destroy them. Try to use the ship's surface as cover wherever possible. Your strafe thrusters are useful here.
Turret. Nomad Vanguard. Turret.
Now, fly away from the ship's surface until it leaves you.
Nice. Well, that was quick. I won't be attacking any bigger ships if I don't have to, obviously, because unless I have something big enough to combat bigger ships, I don't see the point in attacking big enough ships like that if I'm only in a small fighter. Talk about really quick death. Talk about a very fast death. Bruh. All turrets aim right. We have a fighter approaching on our right side at 12 o'clock. Fire! It's like instant death because they have big guns or missile launchers or something on that thing. It's like locked on and fired. Object deployment. And if you gaze for long enough into an abyss, the abyss gazes also into you. That sounds weird and scary. Staring into the abyss, and it stares back.
Most ships are able to carry and deploy certain small objects. Open the ship menu. Select the option to deploy a civilian object. Then, select the satellite. The satellite has been successfully deployed. It's now sent against Gravidar data to you, so you'll be able to observe this space on the map remotely. You can also pick it back up. Select the satellite as your target. Interact with it and select the deactivate option. Now simply fly your ship over it. It's back in your storage and can be deployed again. Navigation beacons are a cheap way of marking a location. Resource probes help with mining. We'll cover them in another lesson. I've unlocked military deployables. Deploy the mine. It will not arm before you're out of its trigger range, but you should still be careful around them. Move to a safe distance. Other types of mines can move to track targets. Some can even distinguish friend from foe. This basic mine is static and just has a proximity trigger. Unlike other deployables, mines cannot be deactivated and picked back up. All you can do is have them self-destruct. Interact with the mine and select the self-destruct option. There we go. There are also laser towers, small automated weapon platforms that can aim but not move around. Very useful if you need to defend something stationary. Deploy one now. Observe an attack in a hostile drone. There are larger laser towers, but they can only be deployed from ships with S-sized docking bays.
Defense drone.
Nice. Target deployables have been deployed and missions accomplished. Yay! We've done it again, folks! Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. Alright, select tutorials again. And we're gonna select the ship upgrades. We're almost done with them. We got a handful more of these things left. Alright, we're loading into the ship upgrades tab. Or the ship upgrade tutorial, so that means we'll be able to learn how to upgrade our ships.
Let's upgrade your ship. Open the highlighted menu.
What button am I supposed to be looking for?
There's a lot here, so let's go through it bit by bit. We'll start on the left-hand side. The vertical bar of icons shows the different categories of upgrades you can get. The engine list is open by default. They generally come in 3 basic types. Combat engines focus on agility and short-term bursts of speed. Travel engines specialize in optimal travel mode performance. All-round engines try to find a middle ground between these extremes. Select thrusters now. These can also have variations, though usually only combat and all-round. Select the all-round Mark 1 thruster. It's actually cheaper than the combat thruster. This will reduce the final bill. Select shield generators now. There's a shield Mark 1 installed here. Select one of the other models. Now look at the stats shown in the bottom half. The shield capacity, as well as the recharge rate, went up. That's why they're shown in green now. You can't afford an upgrade right now, so go back to the basic one. What you can afford is a second shield generator. Select the second slot at the top. Now, select the shield Mark 1. Your shield capacity and recharge rate have doubled. Select weapons now. You're not allowed to buy most of these yet. That's because you need a special license for proper military equipment, which a faction gives you once you gain a rank. There's a different lesson that explains how that works. For now, simply select any of the weapons shown in white. The stats at the bottom have changed again. The 2 values are burst and sustained damage output. The difference between these 2 is that the former ignores heat, while the latter takes it into account. Unfortunately, these are a bit too expensive right now, so select the empty slot option again. In addition to hardware, you can also install software. Open the highlighted menu. Some of these are mandatory in almost all ships, like the flight assist software, for example. But there are always optional additions and upgrades that you can buy. The docking computer is quite popular, for example. You can afford the basic one. Select it. This ship has some light hull damage. Open the repair menu. Select the item to repair your ship's hull. There we go. You can review all the changes you've made on the right-hand side. Additions are green, removals are red. Before confirming the order, you need to add your changes to the shopping list using the highlighted button. Finally, confirm the order with the highlighted button in the bottom right. Your upgrades are now being installed. This will take a few minutes. While we wait, let's try buying a completely new ship. Open the highlighted menu. First, you need to select the size of the ship you want to buy. This is a wharf, which sells small and medium-sized ships. For larger ships, you need to visit a shipyard. Select size M in the highlighted list. Now select Mercury Vanguard in the list next to it. You can see that some of the icons on the left-hand side are now red. That's because some upgrades are mandatory. Can't have a functional ship without an engine, can you? Select the Travel Mark 1 engine, as well as the other highlighted upgrades. open the Consumables menu. Here you can buy or sell a wide variety of deployables. Their use is covered in a different lesson. This is also where you would buy missiles if you had a launcher installed. For now, buy the maximum number of flares, which are used to defend against most types of guided missiles. Now open the crew menu. Service crew help operate and maintain a ship. Hire the maximum amount by dragging the slider all the way to the right. I find it useful to save ship loadouts for future use. Do so using the highlighted button. Now, give the loadout a name and select Save as New. There we go. It has been saved and can be selected from the list whenever you're outfitting a ship of this type. To order this one, first add it to the shopping list. You can change the amount for convenient mass ordering of ships. I've given you enough credits to buy 2 of these, so set it to that amount now.
Not enough money to buy so many ships. What did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong? There we go.
Take note of the lower right corner. There is a warning now that some resources are missing. It wasn't shown when you ordered only 1 ship, so the station is able to begin construction of 1 ship right away. But it needs to wait for delivery of additional resources in order to build the second one. You can expedite this process by delivering the missing resources yourself, something that the ship you're ordering will be perfectly suited for. How to do that will be covered in another lesson. Confirm the order to complete this tutorial.
Nice. I've learned how to upgrade ships. And build new ones, apparently. Yay! Very useful information. Gonna be important later. Alright, we're headed back to the main menu to cycle into the next of the tutorials. Weapons and turrets are next. You can stop production, render weapons inoperable, or make storage drop some of its cargo.
Let's go into more detail about your weapons. Open the ship menu. We'll focus on the highlighted weapon configuration section. Each installed weapon has its own row. The squares in each row show you which weapon groups that weapon is part of. You can assign any weapon to any weapon group. Use the highlighted buttons to assign each weapon to its own group. You can also change the ammunition that's loaded into your missile launchers. Try it if you like. Close the menu to move on. You can quickly cycle through your configured weapon groups. Please activate each primary group at least once. You can also cycle through the available ammunition for any active missile launcher here. Try this now. Select the Swarm missile. It takes a little time for the new missile type to be loaded into the launcher. The target in front of you has strong shields. Your ion weapon is especially effective against shields. Switch to it and fire until the target's shields are down.
Supposed to be doing something.
Clear.
Now switch to your plasma weapon and finish it off. This target here is small and agile, quite tricky to hit with the plasma weapon. Switch to your lead.
I can't move forward because I'm locked in place. So I basically just have to slowly chip away at these ships overall health. Because I wasn't actually aiming at it, so my automated targeting system wasn't actually targeting the son of a bitch.
Well done. You probably noticed that this ship also has turrets. Open the ship menu again. You have a plasma turret and a beam turret. You can arm and disarm them using the buttons on the right. Arm both turrets now. They're set to defend, which means they will fire at whoever attacks you. Let's go through the other modes. Attack all enemies means that the turret will independently choose a suitable targeting range. Attack only capital ships, attack only fighters, and shoot only missiles work similarly. but only allow a subset of targets. Attack capital ships first, attack fighters first, and shoot missiles first. Prioritize a subset of targets, but other targets are allowed. Attack by current enemy makes the turret fire at whatever you have selected, as long as it's hostile. Mining may be obvious, it makes the turret fire at asteroids within range. Set the beam turret to only shoot missiles, and the plasma turret to attack capital ships first. Good. I've disabled your weapons. Just sit still and watch your turrets defend you.
Incoming missile.
Launch! We're under attack. Arm all missiles and fire.
Danger.
What the hell is that? Some kind of smoke bomb? Yeah, flashbang.
You're not in actual danger, by the way. We're only simulating damage to the ship.
Hull damage.
Yeah, but I realize
Danger.
real time lapse will probably be hard to live. This will probably be smashing up my ship real freaking bad, bro. No!
Danger.
No! What was that about, bro? That was funny. He was like, no! No for what, bro? Alright, we're headed back to the main menu now, and we're going to start up our next tutorial here in just a short bit. Grading, okay, that's our next one. This will be a very important one, as well as mining. I need to know how to actually trade resources, so I know how to sell, trade and sell resources as well as buy them.
Let's trade. Open the map. You can see several trade offers for wares bought and sold by this station. Between the name and the current price, you can see a rough indication of the amount. 1 means it'll be enough for a small courier, 2 will fill a medium transporter, and 3 will fill a large freighter. If you hover over the line, you can see the exact amount. Now, you could just go and buy what this station is offering, but who knows where you'd be able to sell it. Let's check out the other station. Close the map.
Autopilot. Engaged.
Go! Fly away! 2,000 meters per second. At least I think that's what M-S means, meters per second.
Open the map. Now that you're in range, you can see this station's trade offers as well. You can still also see the previous ones. They do expire eventually though. There are several ways to keep them up to date. You can place satellites near them, for example. You can also order your ships to update trade offers in a sector. But we don't need to worry about that today. Let's see if we can make a lucrative trade run. Looks like the energy cells being produced here are in high demand at the other station. Close the map. Dock at the power plant.
Alright, so we're going to just simply fly right on over to the space station here.
Autopilot engaged. Autopilot disengaged. Docking granted.
The docking computer is definitely going to be important for me. I think if that's an upgrade I can get, that will allow me to actually help me to dock with the ship, these places.
Now, select Trade. Select the energy cells and move the slider to the left to buy them. Confirm the trade when you're done. The wares are now being transferred. Now undock, then fly to the other station and dock there.
Autopilot engaged.
Engaging travel speed. Go!
Autopilot disengaged. Food ration factory.
Alright.
Autopilot engaged. Autopilot engaged.
Oh shit. My mouse is about to die. Oh, I can't steer my ship. I gotta go get a set of batteries. Yes. What'd you do to her pillows? Oh, you left one lighting up a little bit too much, didn't you? Yeah. That should be fine, Sophie. Ain't that right? Alright. Now, I need to get batteries. Have they? Getting batteries. My mouse. My rechargeable ones have finally lost their power. I'll have to recharge them overnight tonight. If I can find my charging device. Hell, I don't even know where the hell I put that damn thing. And that means if my batteries here are dying, that means that batteries in my keyboard are most likely going to be dying very soon. Because I changed them almost at the exact same time.
Autopilot engaged.
Well, so long as I can at least get some of
Open
those.
the trade menu again, but this time drag the slider to the right to sell the wares. Confirm the trade when you're done. There we go. A successful and quite profitable trade run.
It reminds me, now that I've changed my batteries, I need to go and look for this rechargeable box thing I got. Oh, there it is. Alright, there we go. Yeah. Well, I haven't used these in a while. Like, actually recharged them because they hold such a massive amount of power that I usually don't have to change them out very much. I just have to leave that on the ground because I ain't got nothing else I can do with it. Alright, now let us go and start the mining tutorial because that's kind of what I want to work on. What the hell did I click? Did I click a random one again? Oh man, I'm gonna have to quit. I'm gonna have to back out and quit. I didn't mean to do that. Whatever I just did, I didn't mean to do it. I don't know what I did though, so I don't know how to fix it. If it was a random tutorial, then that's not good. Or if it was a timeline thing, that's even worse. Oh, I started the basic movement tutorial again. Didn't mean to do that. I already finished that tutorial. Come on. I didn't mean to click on the basic movement tutorial again by accident. There we go, that's what I wanted. It's getting hot in here. I probably need to open my door. Let some cold air in. Whatever little bit of cold air I can get in here. I don't know. I might not need to do the advanced courses. It just kind of depends on what they are. But I'll probably do them anyways, just so I have the data there, the information here, so I know what I need to look for a specific tutorial or something.
Today's lesson is about mining. To do it properly, you need a specialised mining ship, like the one you're flying right now. They're the only ones with the right cargo bay for storing raw chunks. You'll also want a mining laser. Okay, to start, turn on your ship's scan mode. The asteroids around you are now coloured according to what's inside them. If they're not empty, they usually contain ore, silicon, or ice. Rarely you'll find Nevidium, but good luck finding a buyer. Select an asteroid that's not empty to see its mineral yield. Now approach it. There are basically two ways to get at the minerals. Either you just keep blasting the asteroid until it completely breaks apart, or you do what I prefer, look for rich deposits and target them directly. I'll mark one for you now. Shoot it. See how quickly it released the minerals? Fly over them to collect them. You can also use the container magnet to pull them in. Not only does this go a whole lot faster, you also actually get more out of each asteroid.
Well, that was quick. Mining is very basic, though. It's a very basic method of making money because you can mine raw chunks and then refine them so you can then sell the raw materials, which will then be spread across the market, especially if you're like one of the main providers of raw metal, like metal materials in the galaxy. Having control over all the mineral markets and stuff means that you basically control most of the asteroid belts around. Obstacles are those frightful things you can't see when you take your eyes off them or something. When a target is in weapon range, the circle icon will mark where you should aim.
Today, we'll go over how to properly set up orders. Open the map. Select the scout ship. Now interact anywhere inside the marked area and select Fly and Wait. Right action, wrong target. Your scout ship will fly to this position. You can give several orders in a row, which will be executed in the order they're given. Add a second fly and wait order anywhere you like. You can move some orders around by dragging the order icon. Try it. You can also quickly insert waypoints between orders. Useful for navigating around hazards, for example. Do so now. It's also possible to change the elevation of an order location. Try it.
Drag a tilt map so you see.
Alright. You can interact with an order or the line leading to it and remove it from the context menu. Do so now. If you remove the active order, then the next one in the queue will be executed right away. If you remove the last queued order, then the ship falls back to its default behaviour. Do so now. Let's change that default behaviour. Open the Scout Ship's info menu. Select the Behaviour tab. At the bottom you can see its current default behaviour. Click on it and select Revisit Known Stations. Next, you need to tell it the space to work in. Select the empty field and then click anywhere in the current sector. Select the Scout Ship. You can leave the radius at the default value or reduce it for a narrower operating area. Now, the most important part. Select Confirm to actually set this as the default behaviour. You can still give this ship any other order you like. Once those are completed, it will return here and revisit all known stations. Take your time looking around. Close the map when you're done.
Alright, so we're good there. Now, what about the next one? We're almost done with these tutorials. As far as the intermediate ones go, those are going by fairly decently. As far as speed goes, we're getting through them pretty quickly. But we are getting all the necessary information we need. Trade orders is next.
Let's scale up our trading. Open the map. I've given you access to a medium-sized trade ship and several stations to trade with. It's getting difficult to match sell offers with buy offers with this much going on. Luckily, you have several options to filter trades. The simplest one is to only look at specific wares. There are several ways you can select a ware that you're interested in. By clicking on a trade offer, by typing its name in the text bar in the top right corner, or by manually selecting it in the filter settings menu for trade filters. Let's open that one. Not only can you add or remove wares here, there are other useful filter options as well. For example, we're only interested in container wares, as that is what your ships can carry.
No.
So disable the other transport types. I also like to set a minimum volume and increase the displayed trade offers to 5, but that's just personal preference. It looks like energy cells are in short supply everywhere. That means the buying price is very high. Set a filter for this ware. I prefer to click on the trade offer directly, but you can do it however you want. Let's make your transport ships start trading those. Select it. Now, give it an order to trade with the power plant. Select the energy cells to buy, just like you did for your own ship. Don't forget to confirm. Now select any station that wants to buy energy cells and repeat this process. There, your transporter is on its way. You'll get paid once the sell order has been completed. Let's take a closer look at one specific station. Select the one that's highlighted. You can see that some of its trade offers have an icon next to them. This one means that they are construction trade offers. The station is going to use these wares to build modules, not to produce something. This might be useful to know if you don't just want to make money, but do want to accelerate the build process, for example. There are also supply trade offers, which are for wares required to restock things like drones. Let's move on to auto trade orders. They make a ship find and execute trade runs on its own. Open the Mark Trade Ship's behavior menu. now change its default behaviour to local auto trade. Open the highlighted menu. Select any of the wares. Next, you need to tell it the space to work in. Select the empty field and then click anywhere in the current sector. Don't forget to confirm. The pilot will now look for trade runs within the system without needing any more input from you. You'll make much more though if you manage them at least a bit. In my experience. Take your time looking around. Close the map when you're done.
That's basically all we need to know is just how to make trades, how to make automatic trade offers, and mining orders is next. We'll be able to make the mining orders appropriately, so we'll be able to tell a mining ship to go and mine in this specific area most likely. Alright, back to the main menu with us. Tutorials, mining orders. We're loading into the next little tutorial now.
Now, let's scale up this mining operation. Open the map. The different coloured areas indicate the presence of resources. Red areas contain solid resources, blue areas contain gases. Purple areas contain both. I'm passing control of another mining ship to you. It's a gas miner. It harvests from gas regions, not asteroids. Select it, then order it to mine any resource in the blue-coloured area. It will now mine that resource until its hold is full. You can also change its default behaviour to local auto mine. The pilot's skill isn't high enough yet for more advanced orders. This one will result in it mining and trying to sell its cargo in the specified sector. The more advanced ones require a more experienced pilot, but allow it to operate within a range of systems. The final thing you need to know is how to use resource probes. When deployed, the density of nearby resources will be shown on the map. They also provide information to your miners, which makes them work faster. Place one near where your gas miner is working. Open the map. You can now see an overview of the resources within the probe's range. Each resource shows a rating. The higher it is, the faster it can be gathered. The bar to the right shows how depleted it is. Resources replenish over time, but when a field is just about empty, you're probably better off finding an alternative in the meantime. And that's basically it. Close the map when you're done.
to the main menu for the next tutorial.
Tired of waiting for...
First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Here we are.
Your ship sensors are all well and good, but sometimes it can be useful to get a more direct look at things. First, look around your cockpit. There are many different kinds, but ship cockpits often provide a wide field of view outside the ship. You can also look at your ship from the outside with the magic of camera drones. Try it. Fly around a bit to get a feel for how it behaves. Try the camera controls now. This also works on targets within range. Select the nearby ship. Now activate external target view. The camera controls work just like in the other external view. Try them if you'd like. Return to cockpit view. You can even tell a camera drone to stay in a fixed location. Try this now. The controls here behave a little differently. Play around with them now. Return to cockpit view to move on. If you'd like to see what's in front of you with fewer obstructions, you can even make the cockpit practically invisible to you. Is there anything camera drones can't do? Try it now. You can even get a live stream of various places around the galaxy. Do so now. This mode automatically cycles between objects you have access to. It starts out with your personal channel, which cycles through the objects you own. Since you only own this one ship at the moment, it's not very exciting yet. I've unlocked another faction's channel as well. You'll get access to these as you increase your rank with that faction. You can either wait for the channel to automatically switch, or use the controls in the top right of the screen to do so yourself. With these controls, you can also lock a channel or object to keep the mode from switching. Feel free to stay in this mode for as long as you'd like. Return to cockpit view to end this lesson.
I think I'm only going to be using external view. I don't really need the live stream view. That sounds kind of silly. Unless you just want to show everybody what you currently own, like run through all the stuff you've done off camera, any new ships you've built or whatever. Alright, now for the next tutorial.
Tired of
Faction relations and licensing.
Tired of...
Open the highlighted menu. This is a list of all factions you've encountered and their relations to you. When you select a faction, you can see which license of theirs you own and what the current relation actually means. The Argon Federation faction is selected by default. Your current rank with them allows you to purchase basic equipment, station modules, and ships. You're also allowed to dock and, by extension, trade with them. To get access to military assets, you need a higher rank. Doing missions for a faction is one of the easiest ways to increase your reputation. Destroying their enemies near their stations also helps a lot. Even trading can get them to trust you if you do enough of it. Once you've earned a new rank, you'll get an invitation to see a representative personally. There, you'll get access to the licenses listed here, and the option to buy the ones that have a price. The police license, for example, is useful if you plan to keep this faction's space safe. It'll pay out a bounty for each enemy you destroy near one of their stations. You'll also be legally allowed to scan ships in their space. The trade offer subscription will give you permanent access to all of this faction's trade offers. That representative is also the one who will sell you blueprints for station modules, ships, and equipment. Now, select the other faction, the Hattikvar Free League. They're a much smaller concern than the Argon Federation. There's no police license, for example, and their trade offer subscription is significantly cheaper. They're also a bit on the unscrupulous side, and may plunder you and your ships unless they really like you. If you want to operate near them, it might be worthwhile getting on their good side. Myself, I choose to stay out of their way instead.
Nice. I think we're about ready to wrap up these tutorials because I think I'm almost done with them. At least I think so. I think I got like 4 or 5 more in the intermediate category. Long-range scanners.
Tired of waiting the shuttles? Want to fly wherever?
The advanced things will be good. The combat scenario I don't really need because I already know enough, at least a little bit. I know enough about combat to actually get it down. But I mean, if I might do it just for shits and giggles, just to see if it's any different than the other combat thing. It is a combat scenario, so that means like it'll be a simulated battle of what really happens, and not just what the tutorials allow.
Let's take a look at your scanners. First, there's the gravitar. It's always on and passively detects objects around you. There are ship modifications and some regions that affect this, but the usual range is around 40 kilometers. Let's learn about the long-range scanner. It's a mode you need to activate manually. Do so now. This scanner works by sending out a charged wave of particles. The longer you charge, the higher the range. But if you overcharge it, you need to start over. Don't worry, it won't damage anything. Try it. Good one. You've got a result. Fly towards it. I recommend using travel mode. The maximum range of this scanner is around 200 kilometers, so this thing could be pretty far off. The long-range scanner is directional, by the way. Only certain massive objects like stations and jump gates can be detected all around you. I recommend switching back to the long-range scanner from time to time and sending another pulse to reorientate yourself.
We're flying down the road. We're flying around the road. Da, ba, ba, da, 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 da. Alright, we're gonna charge up and then we're gonna just ride for a little while.
There's our target. It's a lockbox. Most of these are stashes that were abandoned for one reason or another. There's no telling what's inside, so be careful when open. And be sure to double check whether you have picked up anything illegal. I promise, this one's fine though. Shoot all of the locks to open it while taking care not to damage the box itself. Better luck next time.
Well, we at least completed the objective, so that's good enough for me. Da dum bum ba dum bum ba dum bum ba dum bum bum ba dum bum bum ba ba dum bum ba dum bum bum ba dum bum 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 bum. Alright, we're now on to the object scanning tutorial. Hold C to crouch while on a platform. Whoop. Honestly, if I build a mining ship, I'm going to build a mining ship that can hold all the resources. Gas, raw ore, and whatever the other one is. I guess gas and raw materials, so it can mine all of it. And then we'll have both types of miners, and I'll just tell it to mine everything in the local area it can.
There's a ship ahead.
And then go sell.
Let's scan it. Activate the object scan mode. Now interact with the ship and select the scan option. Keep the ship near your crosshair. There you go. The ship has been scanned. You can now see the cargo it's carrying, for example. Some ships, especially military, are more hardened against scans. You'll need to buy a better scanner, or even get up close in your spacesuit. This scan mode can also display minerals and asteroids, but that will be covered in another lesson. Let's move on for now. Approach the station. Your heads-up display has overlaid a filter onto the modules. Pick any module and approach it. Try to have it in your view, too. There we go, it's scanned. Keep scanning modules until you've fully scanned the entire station.
It's a very basic little scanner, but still.
This module is hardened against scans and requires a better scanner than any ship can carry. You need to scan it from your spacesuit.
Quasar, Vanguard.
Now we've got one or two more objectives here to complete, or well, we got the advanced ones to complete, and then the combat scenario. Alright, let's see what we got left.
Tired of waiting for shuttles?
Flight assist, adaptive
Tired
steering,
of waiting for shuttles?
station
Want to
building,
fly
and
wherever you
station
want,
building.
whenever you want? Then what you need is a pilot's license.
You got the flight assist and the other ones there, and then the combat scenario. There's only 4 here in this advanced category, but these are probably going to be a little harder than the other ones because, well, they're advanced. Press F5 to save your game. That's going to be very important for me. I'm going to have to remember to do that occasionally, so I at the very least can save my game. Unless it has some kind of autosave feature, which I don't know if it does or not. I'll just have to make sure I'm manually saved.
Please turn off flight assistance now.
Oh shit. Menu, flight assist.
I'll give you time to play around with it. Re-enable flight assistance when you want to move on to the next step. The next part is technically against the rules, so you didn't hear it from me. We'll combine 2 of the things you've learned, aimed at empty space and activate travel mode. Build up some speed.
Gain speed. I don't know what I'm doing, but apparently it's illegal.
Now, turn off flight assist. Your speed is no longer increasing. More importantly, though, your ship is very maneuverable again. It takes a practice, but you can use this for significant course corrections during travel mode. Try this now by aligning to the new objective, then re-enabling flight assistance. I find it really fun to drift my way into jump gates at high speed that way, but do be careful and practice in a safe environment first. I don't want to hear about you turning your ship into a pancake, right? Right. Now that the exciting part is over, let's wind down with something a bit calmer.
We're almost done. The thing is, like, let's wind down with something calm. We're almost done. Your main combat test is coming up soon, so make sure you study ahead for it. Bruh. X4 timelines. Adaptive steering. Learn how adaptive steering can
Tired
help
of
you
waiting
use
for
your
shuttles?
ship
Wanna fly-
thrusters effectively.
Now, here's a little thing that many pilots don't use, but if you do end up liking it, you'll really appreciate it. Depending on how you've set up your flight controls, you might only have convenient control over 2 steering axes rather than all 3. This is fine for most pilots. However, with many ship configurations, rolling is much more effective than yawing, or vice versa. This is where adaptive steering can help. When turned on, the primary steering axis will be set to whichever one is best for your current ship configuration. I've turned on adaptive steering and changed the thruster configuration of your ship to favour rollover yaw. Fly around a little to get a feeling for it. Don't worry, you're not being timed.
I would hope not, because flying like this is wonky as hell. I'm not sure I might end up getting motion sickness from this, bro. And I don't even have motion sickness problems. I guess if this was real life, you probably would very easily get motion sickness from something like this, because, I mean, honestly, come on. How would you not get motion sickness? You're rolling all over the place, bruh. Unless you have a very strong stomach, I don't understand how one could handle something like this, bro. We're flying around, we're flying around, flying around, round, 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 round. No. I don't really much care for the way it's yeeting me around and rolling me constantly. Unless there's a reason I need to be rolling, I don't really think I need to roll. Or at least, I would prefer not to have to roll if I don't have to, because honestly, rolling makes it much harder to steer. Especially if you're constantly rolling, you're gonna have to, like, basically spin into your target, like constantly be rolling in it. Or, like, keep, like, angling yourself just right so you can line up with your target. And then what happens with landing? How are you going to use adaptive steering when it comes to landing your ship or docking your ship? I can almost see that issue being a massive issue. Learn how to design and build a space station. This is going to be extremely important, so pay attention, people.
Today we'll cover one of my most advanced lessons, designing and building stations. Open the map. To begin with, you need a plot of space. Open the highlighted menu. Here you can manage your plots, or buy new ones, as we will do now. Create a new plot now. You can leave the size as it is. The two boxes you see are your actual plot, and the buffer distance it needs to have between it and other stations, gates and highways. You will also notice a price being displayed. It changes as you move the plot around. Not only are certain sectors more expensive than others, the price also goes up if gates, highways or stations are nearby. Place the plot in a remote but cheap location for now. Now buy the license for this plot. You can build a station without paying for the plot, but that is sure to anger whoever owns the sector. Now select Continue to get to the next step. The left side lists all the types of station modules. Production modules are open by default. Let's start with a dock though. Open the highlighted menu. You have access to two modules right now, a pier for capital ships and a dock module for smaller ships. There are many more options, but you need to acquire their blueprints first. Select the pier. You'll notice its colour sometimes changing between green and red. If it's red, then it's not in a valid location. It may be outside of the plot, intersect with another module, or be in an exclusion zone. We will learn about those in a moment. Place this module anywhere inside the plot. so-called transform gizmo has appeared. You can grab and drag any of the arrows to move the module along that axis. Do so now. Doing the same to one of the circles will rotate the module. Do so now. You can reset a module's rotation by interacting with it. Do so now. Okay, now select the other dock module. As you move it around, you will notice that it can snap to the already placed pier. You may also notice that you can't place it in the marked area in front of the pier. That is the so-called exclusion zone. Needs to be free of other modules so that ships can dock. Place the dock module now. Let's place a few more modules to make this a fully operational station. First, take a look at the other module section. There are a number of cheap connection modules that you can use to make your station look nice. You don't have to use them, but feel free to do so during this lesson. Now, select a production module and place it. All production modules turn certain resources into a product, except for this one, which stores solar power in energy cells. Its output depends on the sector. Your encyclopedia has the info you need. There are also build modules which work very similarly, but their products are ships and equipment. Next, we'll absolutely need a storage module. There are modules for the different types of storage. We only need container storage here, so place one of these. Now, place a habitation module. Without it, you won't have room for a workforce. While productions can run automatically, actual workers increase their efficiency a lot. You do need to keep them supplied with food and medicine, though. By the way, if you're struggling to attract people to your station, a welfare module can go a long way to help. Finally, place a defense module. It doesn't automatically come with any turrets, so let's add some now. Interact with the defense module and select Edit Loadout. This works exactly like loadouts for ships. Add at least one turret and confirm the changes. When you're satisfied, you can confirm your changes with a highlighted button. Now, we need to hire a builder ship. The map is now in a special mode that focuses on these builder ships. The one next to the other station is currently busy, but you can select the other one by interacting with it. Do so now. Next, you need to make sure that the required resources will be delivered to this station's build storage. If you expand this item, you can see exactly what is needed. And if you expand this one, you can allocate funds for trade offers. These will be seen by traders who will then sell them to your station. Of course, you can also deliver everything yourself. But for now, simply accept the estimate and close this menu. The builder ship will now move to your station and use the delivered resources and its...
No, they'll use the delivered resources to build the station. Okay. Obviously, in retrospect, I won't be building something so wonky looking. Hopefully I'll learn how to actually build something that actually looks like a space station instead of some little wonky Frankenstein station that's like cobbled together that doesn't even look like a station would, like where there's basically no walk paths and. Well, a docking station would be nice, but you also need like a trading platform, crafting stations, and a bunch of other stuff so that if you come to land there, you'd have to be able to get out of your ship and actually walk around and do some other stuff there. Station management. Alright. There is a single light of science, and to brighten it anywhere is to brighten it everywhere. By hacking, you can stop production, render weapons inoperable, or make storage drop some of its cargo.
So, you've successfully built a station. Now, let's make it operate properly. First off, you need a manager. Dock at the nearby station and hire someone.
Oh, this actually looks like a station that looks legitimate enough to actually work. To the station we go.
Docking granted. Successfully docked.
Welcome.
Quasar, Vanguard.
I guess I need to run all the way over here to the ship's manager state, the ship's management station.
Hello.
Now, interact with your new station and select the manager role.
Thanks for hiring me. I really appreciate it.
Your new hire will now travel to the station and start working. Almost every production module turns one or more resources into a product. Solar power being one exception. Your one requires silicon and energy cells and produces silicon wafers. Open the map. Select the mining ship and assign it to mine for the station.
Assign the mindset to your station. Left click on an object and select it. Right click to give an order of the selected object. I don't know where a mining ship is. Am I missing something?
Hello.
What does it mean? This? No. I don't understand. What is it telling me to click on? Assign the mining ship to your station. Left click on an object icon to select it. Is there a mining ship I'm supposed to be looking for, or am I just being stupid and not seeing it? this is one tutorial I don't really understand. I don't understand what it's asking me to really do. Assign the mining ship to your station, left click on an object, and to select it, then right click to give the order to the selected object.
Hello.
It'll also want to buy certain resources, like energy cells, as well as sellers' products. So assign the 2 transport ships to trade for the station.
Awaiting orders.
The station manager is now taking care of orders for these ships. How well they do depends on the skill of the manager or the ship's pilot, whichever is better. The miner will start to work straight away, but the traders can't. Your station has no budget to buy resources. Open its info menu. Now put some money into the station account by moving the slider. You can also simply accept the manager's estimate. The manager is now going to use that budget to buy resources. Profits from selling products also go into this account.
Okay,
As soon as the
now I
manager
understand.
exceeds the limit by a certain margin, any excess funds will automatically be transferred to your account. Now, interact with the station and open the logical overview. Here you can see a diagram of the station's production line, among other things. To the left, you can see the various resource wares in the station storage. Next to that are the productions. This station only has one, but you can add many different ones. The rightmost column shows the end products currently in storage. There are many things that you can control from this menu. Select any of the wares. You can override several automatic settings or assign a trade rule specific to this ware. Select the silicon wafers production. It shows you a lot of detailed info, and you can pause the production from here. You can also use this menu to set some wares to be traded without having a production module that needs or produces them. Try to add helium as a trade ware. It shows a warning symbol. If you open the details, you can see what it's about. In this case, the problem is that your station doesn't have the right kind of storage for this ware. You can remove it by deselecting it in the Select Trade Wares menu. You've probably been wondering about the workforce production, so let's open that now. Each production module works better when it has people working in it. The optimal amount depends on the type of production. Workers require food and medicine, even when they're not working. Keep them consistently supplied with these, or they're going to leave. At the bottom, you can see how the workforce is expected to change over time. Growth mainly depends on the sector population, but plenty of living space and a well-maintained station helps as well. You can also build certain welfare modules to attract workers more quickly. Open the drones menu now. Here you can set target amounts for certain types of drones. The manager will then create buy offers for drone components and manufacture them once these arrive. While most traders carry cargo drones of their own, giving the station a few as well can speed up trades with capital ships. And I don't need to tell you why defence and repair drones might be useful, right? And those are the foundations of station management. You can keep looking around. Simply close the map to complete this tutorial.
Complete all advanced tutorials. Right. That one right there was kind of confusing a little bit. I was a little confused about what I was supposed to be clicking on. I was like, what am I supposed to be clicking on, bro? Now, I know the next and last thing is going to be the combat scenario. Then we'll wrap up the stream and I will get this stream edited and put in a playlist, so I can then start another series in a short while. And then the first main stream of this game will be the Xeno Strike Force has broken through our front lines and is converging on an unprepared shipyard. As the last line of defense, it is our duty to provide the station personnel with enough time to scramble their bombers. We need to repel this incursion at all costs. So what? That just means I need to destroy a whole bunch of enemies, right? I guess so. There's a bunch of bad bombas coming at, bad boo-boos. Monsters! Giant spaceships that are enemies. They need to die. Baha.
Approaching accelerator.
Take us through. Once we clear the accelerator, set a course for the shipyard.
Acknowledged.
Pilot, head to the bridge. We need you on standby.
What is going on here, bro?
Sir.
Ah, my friend. Good timing.
Wait. Sure.
A Xenon miner has been spotted.
Acknowledged. Let us do our duty. Move to intercept. I suggest you make haste, pilot.
To the Barracuda.
Prepare undocking procedures.
Barracuda.
Cleared for undocking.
Docking position cleared.
You are free to engage.
N. P.
Data neutralized. Well done, friend.
Not that scenario.
N.
Cannot tolerate your action. Cannot tolerate your action.
N.
That is the last of him.
Well done, everyone.
The shipyard is hailing us, putting it through.
Enemy spotted. Requesting immediate backup. We received your call. We're on the way. Helm!
Activating travel drive.
I'm coming in fast. We have what the heck is that thing firing? Some kind of plasma blasters or ion guns? Bruh.
K. N.
Attempt to disable their turrets.
N. K. N. K. N. K. N. K. N. K. Emergency teleport successful.
Please take care. It is our last one.
Well, that damn thing is very big, and
Docking position cleared.
You are free to engage.
KN. KN.
I don't know where this ship's going. Man, this space station's lighting this thing up. It is lighting that thing up. The shield's almost gone on that big ship.
K. Turret.
We cannot afford to lose that station.
A capital ship is finishing construction and preparing to launch.
All the more reason to act with conviction.
K. Turret. 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 N. Defense drone.
That is the last of the drones. The corvettes are standing down.
We must prevent them from escaping. Pilot, target their engines.
Target disabled.
Pilot, assist the corvettes in finishing off the enemy.
It's going to blow.
Clear the area.
Explosion imminent.
Good work, everyone. Comms, ask the station if they require further assistance.
Depot. N.
Well, that was it. That was fun while it lasted. That was tough, man. I lost one ship and I had to switch to another one. I'm like, shit, bro. I'm in trouble, man. I can just imagine myself having a big carrier ship, like a big ship that's like a capital ship, and I have like, I don't know, like 24 fighters on board, all with their own pilots, and I'm like, launch fighters, and I'm like, and I'm like, attack, and you just see the Alpha and Beta Squadron moving out, like, I have officially completed every single tutorial of the game, so I am good to go. If you like this stream of X4 Foundations, please do leave a like, and I will see you again in the next one. Peace.